guys, what's happening? It's me, Victoria, and if you're new to my channel, have never seen me before, then hello, welcome. My name is Victoria. I hope you stick around. Quick hydration break. I'm really trying to get into the habit of drinking more water, just super healthy for you, and I feel like I'm always dehydrated. Now I'm probably gonna have to pee in like 10 minutes, but that's fine. Today I'm gonna hit you guys with my first ever story time, and this is kind of like arguably not a story time. It's also kind of like gonna be a rant at the same time. It's very fresh in my mind, and the thing is, I've always been very into story times, but the thing is, my life is literally like so uneventful, and interesting things don't really happen to me too often. I'm pretty shy and reserved to new people and in like public situations like that, so I don't really put myself out there enough to ever like really have crazy stories happen to me. I'm gonna try doing this in like the best order possible without like stuttering or like being shitty at explaining things. So this is something that I really wanted to come on and share. I actually tried to film this the other day, but it was so fresh in my mind and I was just so overwhelmed by it that I was kind of like, I was filming it and then I realized I wasn't making sense in how I was explaining it, and then I went back and deleted it because like I really did such a poor job explaining it and I didn't do the story justice. So today I think I finally have all my thoughts collected, so I'm just gonna begin. So basically, if you watched my Get to Know Me tag, which I did a couple months ago, I mentioned that I work at a local arena in my city called Budweiser Gardens. I have no shame in telling you guys the company that this happened with because it's not like a chain kind of store. I don't care to tell you guys where it was. But I won't be saying any names or my manager's name because I want this video to just kind of be telling my personal perspective on something. I don't want it to be like a direct bashing video that's just not respectful on my part. So yeah, even though this is about the worst boss I will probably ever have in my life, I'm not gonna say any names. If my channel ever gets big by any reason and he ever sees this video, then I mean, hello, you know who you are. Yeah, no hard feelings.
Yeah, actually.
This was my first ever job. I started when I was 16. I'm 20 now, and I've had a lot of jobs in between that time, but no matter what, I always made this job my first priority. And I just left this job a week ago from today, and it was effective immediately. I didn't give a 2-week notice like you're typically properly supposed to. It was just a very bad situation. My first season, so my first year at the job, we had a concessions manager, and I've been in concessions the whole time I was there because obviously there are a lot of little departments in the building. She was really nice. She did her job really well, and yeah, everyone generally liked her. But then she resigned after I think my first or second year. I think my first year, and then we got a new concessions manager. He was totally chill, totally fun. Everyone loved him, outgoing, like a really young guy, probably like 27 I'd say. Personally, I got like kind of intimidated by him. I don't know, it was just like a really weird vibe I got from him, and I never understood it because like everyone like usually liked him, and I always thought he was super nice, and I was totally comfortable with the last manager, so I didn't get why I was so shy around him. Now it makes sense, which is the whole point of this story. So like all my vibes and instincts were right, but there was just something off about him, and it just made me like pull back a bit. Like I was always really intimidated if he like greeted me or something, and I just didn't get why. So kind of like a cold demeanor to him, if that makes sense at all. So basically, yeah, I've had this concessions manager for my remaining 3 seasons, and nothing happened in between then. I'm just gonna skip ahead to like where all the drama started. And my sister used to work there. I think she left like 2 seasons ago. It was awesome being able to work with my sister. I work with her now again at my new job, but that's like a totally different story. But yeah, we work together, and since it was my first job, she really helped explain things to me, and it was just comforting having someone there that you know so closely. So she actually had issues with this boss, and that is the reason she left, and it is the same for a lot of people in this building. So like I said, I'm in concessions, but since it's such a big venue, then there are obviously different branches and different like areas you can work in the building. So concessions is just whatever, like you just work with the popcorn and food and stuff. You make like little tips because you are working with beer. You don't really make too many tips because it's not really like a server kind of atmosphere. But then there are the girls and the guys who are like in suites and like in-seat servers and stuff like that, and you hear those people saying like, I only made $200 in tips tonight. Oh my god, such a slow night. I was lucky if I made like $5 in concessions. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I wasn't there for the tips. Like, yeah, it's just a nice thing on the side. But I stayed at that job for so long, even between other jobs, because I genuinely like the atmosphere and I like the people and I just like the business collectively. That is why I kept the job. So often people will kind of nag managers if they've been there long enough, oh, can I like move from concessions up to bar cart? So also like girls who like have their own individual stands where they serve all kinds of alcohol, so people are expected to tip them. They make hundreds of dollars as well usually. So a lot of people, obviously that's the goal for them. And yeah, that's all you really need to know about that. There are certain positions and then there's higher positions which you can kind of be moved up to if you're lucky. So that's how it should have gone. Management did a really bad job with that. For example, like I have this family friend and my sister put in a good word for her to get her job, and somehow this girl like got hired straight to like the very good position, even though my sister has been there for years and was the one who put in the good word for her. So basically the reason my sister left, I'm going to sum this up really quickly, is because our concessions manager, who this whole video is about, kept promising her that he would put her in these better positions, and she didn't even like really think anything of it. She's like, oh, okay, that's a cool opportunity. So he'd like put her in these places where she could get good tips, which is obviously really good when you're young and a student and she's living in an apartment with her boyfriend. It helps. Then out of nowhere he would pull her back and he'd be like, oh, I need you in concessions, and then he kept promising her like a permanent spot and kept pulling her back. So it's not even that she was like expecting this position in the first place, but it's just that he was being so unreliable and such a, excuse my language, douchebag about it, that she even went to the office and they like had a big discussion and he was being like super mean to her, and then she was like, you know what, this is dumb, I quit. I never experienced any problems, even though I felt kind of like weird about him. So I stayed at the job because I loved it. So this is the important part of the story. Not once did I ever ask to be upgraded to a better position. I'm one of the cashiers who've been here the longest. This is my 4th season. If they ever want anyone and they come up to me, then I'll gladly take it. I have no problem being in concessions. I like all the people I work with. I like interacting with customers. I'm not too concerned about tips, so a lot of people asked to move up and then I didn't really care. Another thing to note is that this building has so many problems with staff. People are leaving like I've never seen before, so they are constantly hiring new people. Every shift was a new person in like spread out in the building, and they would all say the same thing. Oh, like I literally had one question for my interview and he hired me. Management has just gotten really bad over the years I've been there. I can get super lazy and stuff, but when it comes to work, that's one thing where I don't really make excuses, because you're not really working on your own behalf. And every job I've done, I like hustle and do what I need to do, make sure I get it done. I'm always respectful. I'm not even trying to like toot my own horn or anything. I bust my ass when I work. It's something that I will defend. The 4 seasons I've been there, no one has ever written me up. I've never got any complaints. I've never been brought to the office. A couple weeks ago, this girl showed up to like her shift so drunk, no one even know how she got to work. People just like miss shifts casually and they're like, oh, like I didn't know or I didn't care. It's really a shame to see it go down as much as it has. And I'm sure it's gonna keep going down at the rate it was at when I left. Like I still loved it. I was so flexible with everything they wanted from me. The job was like decent, but like I always tried my best, and that's what matters, and no one ever had any problems with me. All the managers, from what I knew, like loved me. Last Friday we were working for a regular hockey game, which is the most common shift there. And how that job works, half the shift you're like hustling really quickly and getting stuff done, and the other half is literally just downtime, because people come in and they buy food and everything, and then they go in the arena to watch the game or the show or whatever. So there's literally like no one on the concourse in front of you, and that's when everyone's like drinking, everyone's talking, people are eating, people are on their phones. Even if I've asked you if you've seen people on their phones at work, or if you've gone on your phone at like a casual part-time job, everyone does it. Like it's not a big deal. Like managers will usually be like, oh, put your phone away, but it's not like a big offense at work. Like every single person knows that. And especially at this job, even managers go on their phone. Everyone holds up their phone when it's downtime, because you don't have customers like seeing you, right? Even though it's not good to have your phone out, like no one really cared at this job. So even if I was on my phone, which I tried not to be, I would be discreet about it, and in that case no one would care. Even my stand leader, who's kind of like your own little boss for the shift, he didn't care that I was on my phone. So me and my boyfriend were talking about something very important. Normally I wouldn't text if it was something stupid, but we weren't doing anything anyway. So I was standing here, and behind my till where no one can see it, I was sending a quick text on my phone. So then I look up and my boss is standing there looking at me like dead in the eye. Before I tell you what he said, I'm not the kind of person to lie. This is word for word how it went. I have no reason to like exaggerate it. This is literally why this is so mind-blowing to me even to this day, and why I left the job at the terms that I did. I look up at him, and yeah, I get kind of nervous because I know he's standing there like looking down on me because I'm texting. but I'm not too concerned at the same time because even the big manager above him, like pretty much the building manager, he's so chill. Everyone loves him. If he walks by and he sees someone on their phone when there's no customers around, then he's just like, oh, I didn't see that, or like, oh, put it away, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. So basically I looked up at him and I like put it away instantly. He's basically like acting in that way where he looks like he's like ready to cuss you out, but he doesn't, and he's holding back, having all these like awkward motions and keeps turning his head and throwing his arms up, but then like tries to like relax himself. Like, he looked so angry at me. I'm trying to remember exactly how he said this. I remember some things word for word, some things I say are gonna be like very similar. He was like,
you know, Victoria, you're a nice girl, but I just lost all respect for you.
Dead in my eyes. And he literally goes on this tangent for, I kid you not, like at least a minute minimum. It felt like forever to me personally because I was just getting like harassed basically. And this was loud enough to the point where I didn't even realize until after, but my entire stands, so at least like 15 people, were all kind of around and like listening because it was so loud and dramatic that everyone working with me was like hearing what was going on. He's basically going on saying things like,
you know what? This is why people like you don't move up. I would never consider promoting you. You are such a bad example for all the people. I don't know what makes you think this is okay. You could have at least lied to me and say that you were on your calculator.
If that were the case and he checked, he would have been even more pissed off. So that's just stupid. But anyway, so basically this whole time I'm just shocked because I've literally in a work environment never been talked down to like this in my life. And the thing is, I am not a sensitive person unless it is like personal attacks towards me, if that makes sense. That is like such a Libra trait if you're into astrology and all that. Even like around my boyfriend, around my family, I do not like to cry. Like, crying is a very personal thing to me. I don't like to show defeat and emotion. But if I know that someone doesn't like me, or that someone said something bad about me, or someone is like making claims about me, like whether behind my back or like to my face, which is worse, then that is what like really sits with me and like makes me uneasy. The fact that he's yelling at me to my face, I start like tearing up a bit and I'm just standing there like frozen, and he can probably tell I'm getting like emotional. And he's just he keeps going on and on, like literally harassing me at this point. All I'm thinking in my head is,
oh my gosh, like I don't know why he doesn't like me so much. I don't want to lose this job.
I'm literally looking at him in the eye saying, I'm sorry. I was literally sending a quick text. Like, I can even put my phone in the back if you want, so that you know I won't be on it like for the rest of my shift. I'm sorry. I literally kept repeating, I'm sorry. That's all I could think to say. And that's really the only valid response because he kept just making all these claims towards me. So I'm literally just apologizing. In my mind, by the end of it, I was kind of like, you know what? I've been on the fence with this job for a bit. I literally just want to say, you don't have to be such an asshole. I quit this job, walk out, like make a whole dramatic, what you'd see in a movie kind of scene. But I was like biting my tongue. I was like, I could never say that to him. And to me, even if I haven't done anything, I think my biggest flaw as a person is that I'm too nice and I let people like walk all over me, and I literally just can't stand up for myself. I've been like walked over my entire life. I've had situations where I've been bullied so badly because of it. Like, that is easily my biggest flaw as a person. This is why people like you never move up. You're just so unreliable, blah blah blah. And I was like,
I was just sending a quick text.
Oh, that's like me saying I'm gonna go drink a beer in the corner because no one's looking.
No, that's not like that at all. That's like a totally different level. But anyway, then he is going off for like literally a full minute, a full tangent. Like, he knows I hustle at that job, and he's making personal attacks towards my work ethic and my personality when he doesn't know one thing about me or who I am, trying to make me feel like I'm like a bad person. And this is literally all because I was sending a quick text where you couldn't even see it when there was no customers around. Like, everything was clean. We did everything we need to do. So then he walks away, doesn't even say anything, like literally rolls his eyes and walks away. And I am just there, like literally shocked and frozen, to the point where like some girls pull me back and they're like, I can't believe that he just talked to you like that. He's kind of known to have like fits on people. Like, he's a very dramatic man. Like, he's very immature. It was just ridiculous. So basically I was probably like working for like another half an hour at least, trying so hard not to cry. My eyes were like watering and it was going down my cheeks, but I was like kind of keeping my head down so my hat would cover it, and I'd like try wiping it so no one would see it. I was trying so hard not to cry for the rest of the shift. And then there's this one super sweet like floor supervisor. She's kind of like pretty up there, but not as up there as him. And I love her. She works so hard. She's so helpful and everyone just loves her. So she walked by and I kind of waved her over and I was like, can I like talk to you about something? Because I just like, I'm trying so hard not to cry right now. She knew who I was talking about because she kind of heard the end of it, him like ranting at me, but she didn't really hear the excessive part of it. She pulled me in like the private room where no one could like hear or see, and I basically lost it to her. And then she was like, yeah, I have no idea why he like went off on you like that. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna talk to him. You work so hard at this job. I really don't want you to leave. If you want to report him, we can like take those steps, but I mean, like, I really think maybe he was just having a bad day or something. Like, I really hope you come back. We're gonna solve it. Obviously you seem like you're like not in a good state to keep working, so if you want, you could go home. I signed out early because I was too much of an emotional wreck. I was pretty much like crying on my city bus home. It was just really bad. And then when I got home, I was like talking to my sister on the phone, telling her what happened, because like I said, she had similar issues with him too a few years earlier, which is why she left. And I just started bawling my eyes out to her. I was so set on reporting him. I don't know if I'm going to anymore. I'm kind of content with what I did, and I might just leave it at that. I was gonna come in and give him a notice that I was done working there, but I was like, I don't even want to step foot in that building. So basically I sent him a very long email speaking my mind and just being upfront with him, and it's very sassy and I'm very proud of it. I mean, part of me kind of wishes that I just quit on the spot, but at the time I was like thinking of every possible like outcome. I wasn't sure if he would read it or not, and I was like really petrified. Like I was like shaking when I sent it that he was gonna reply back with something like really rude and try like starting something out of it. But from a professional standpoint, he would be really stupid if he did that. So I mean, it makes sense that he didn't. But the next shift was 2 days after that, and I didn't get the typical like game plan or like shift placement that I normally do. So I know he saw it because he unsubscribed me from like the staff email list right away. I feel so good that I did it in the way that I did, and it's literally like a little essay. Like I put in word count with my boyfriend and it's like over 1,000 words. I just really wanted to make it as professional as I could. Like I didn't want to leave with me being the bad guy. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I hope you guys like this, and I hope this was interesting to you guys. There wasn't really a big conclusion to it or anything. I mean, it's just something that happened to me and it's very fresh in my mind. I was there for like over 3 years, like 16 years old. I was a totally different person at that age. And everything else in my life has changed, and in a way I think that's kind of been holding me back, because I really think I just needed to let go of that and kind of take all that personal and professional growth I've learned from that job and just move it to all new areas of my life. I was kind of on the fence about leaving that job for a while, and I really decided to keep it. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I think everything works out the way it's supposed to. My sister works at like the movie theater chain in my area at least, and we have this one really nice location in our city where there's like a complete bar and restaurant side, and I'm gonna make like lots of tips and work with a lot of awesome people, and the management is so good there, and I get to work with my sister again, and like I don't have to feel like shy and awkward around the people I work with anymore. It's just, I have a really good feeling about it. I think I got the call that I got hired for that job a few days before this whole situation happened. So I mean, it lined up perfectly, because honestly, if I didn't have a job lined up, I probably just would have sucked it up and like kept a job where I was getting harassed at. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I just got this like new job at the exact same time. So honestly, I felt like it would have been bad on my part if I kept myself in an environment like that where I had to see him all the time for every shift. Let me know your opinions if you guys think I should report him or not, because at the time I was like, I'm gonna report his ass, like he shouldn't be talking to people like that. In the email I tried to kind of like let him know that like things he's doing is kind of wrong as a manager in general and not just think things about me. So I really hope the email was kind of thought-provoking for him, and maybe he wakes up like, oh crap, I can't be a manager and be an asshole to people at the same time. Part of me wants to let it slide. I know personally in my heart that he lost a hardworking employee, so I'm kind of almost even satisfied just leaving it at that. But if you guys think it was like so excessive that like I should go out of my way to try to like talk to like the head of the company, then let me know. I kind of want to leave it, but like if you guys think it's a good idea, maybe it's something I should consider. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's really all there is to say about that. I have to try to remember the things he said about me weren't true, even if I feel really bad about them. I just have to remember he doesn't know me at all. At the end of the day, you can try being like the best manager ever and stuff, but if you are a shitty person to your core, then nothing's gonna change that. So yeah, that was another video. I haven't made one in a couple of weeks, but I do have some things I've been filming and some things I'm kind of editing on the side. Hoping to kind of like roll out a few at once in a couple of weeks coming up. So if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up because it makes me really happy. It means a lot. Also hit the red subscribe button. I think it's down there. It might be there. I think it's there, but it's about to come on the screen in a couple seconds anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you in my next video. Bye!
The one you can't repair, but I still love her, I don't really care. When we were young, oh, we did enough. When it got cold,